This is Vicki Romaine with Cheerful Greetings, and today we're going to go into our past and fix a vintage Christmas card. I have some cardstock here. It's in a pad, and I have loads of choices, but I'm not sure yet. This one I think I'm going to go with. It's a plaid. I've made one using this plaid, and I really liked it. So we will make another one. I don't usually work with plaids except at Christmas. I don't know why that's the only time I work with plaids. This is the one I made previously. I put down a trim on the side that was very pale, and so I took walnut stain and distressed it. And I put it on a 6-inch card with a wreath. And I decided to go ahead and put it on the white card, even though the front has that vintage feeling. So we're going to make another one. I've got my walnut stain here, and I'm going to do a little fast forwarding so that you don't get bored watching me stain the outside of my cardstock. My pad was 6 by 6, so that makes making this card really easy because I'm going to make a 6 by 6 card, and that eliminates that cutting. So that's why this can be one of your quicker cards. I'm using walnut stain and just doing the edges because I want my plaid to pop off the page. My base is still going to be white, and it's a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock cut in half and then folded in half, and that makes my 6 by 6 card. The glue I'm using is Elmer's rubber cement, and it is great at sliding your cardstock in place. In other words, if you don't get it exact the first time, it will slide until it has a chance to set up. Now, even though my card is exactly 6 by 6 and my paper is 6 by 6, you see just a little dab of white around the edge. But I'm going to fix that by going back and using my walnut stain and making it part of the outside line. I'm trying not to get the stain on the inside of my card, so that's why I'm holding it so that I can only do the front cover. Okay, I've got my walnut stain around the edges. Now it's time to decorate my card. I've got a piece of rickrack. It looks old, but it's really new. But the color's perfect for this card. And I'm going to cut 2 pieces. So in case I want to use both of them, I'll have the right length on there. Plus, I'm going to be sending it through my Xyron X, and it'll save the tape if I send 2 through at the same time. You just start your rickrack in the edge, and you start one and then start the other one. And the main thing you have to do is keep the 2 pieces separated, so when they come out through the glue on the tape, that they're not on top of each other. So you want to take your time and make sure you keep them separate. And it looks like so far I am. You don't have to have them even or anything. Main thing is just not to have them on top of each other. And you rip the tape off and burnish it with your finger if you like. That helps make it more adhesive. At first, I'm just going to take off the one piece, and we see how that looks. Okay, I'm burnishing a little bit so that it'll stick. The Xyron makes the ribbons and they'll stick pretty well. And I'm just trimming the edge there where it's just a tad longer than what I need. Now I have to decide, do I want 2 or 1? I think I'm just going to go with the 1 piece for right now. I have a wreath. I don't really care for the color, so I'm going to put a little walnut stain on it, and it will be a kind of splotchy. If you notice, I'm not doing the whole thing, because wood or logs or whatever you make into a wreath are not always the same color or same shade. So I'm just kind of measuring here to see where I want to put my wreath. I have 2 lines there in the middle of my cardstock, a green and a red. So I want my wreath to go on each side of the 2 lines. In other words, I want the lines in the middle of my wreath. I have a bow now that has a kind of a twist on it, and I've twisted it to 3 times so it won't come apart. And I'm cutting the extra piece off. And I want to make sure my bow stays on, so I'm going to use some Eileen's tacky glue to hold it on. I want to make sure I get enough so it'll hold it. Okay, it'll take a while for that to set up. Now I need something else on this card. So let's see, I've got some people here somewhere. Here we go. There's a little girl and boy. And I've got a couple more. I kind of like the one with the top hat, and I like the larger size. So I'm going to go with that. Okay, now that I've got them in place, I'm looking at my other card. I put my sentiment at the bottom, or my greeting at the bottom of the other card, and I kind of like that. So I'm going to do the same with this one. And of course the lines on the plaid makes it easy to line up. I'm going to take my walnut stain again, and I'm going to do the edges of my image. I especially want to do it on the girl's white dress there. I want to tone it down so it's not pure white. And right now I'm just getting my placement of everything, and I'm going to go ahead and glue them now because I'm pretty well satisfied with everything. Now I noticed on my die cut that there were a couple places that did not pop out when they were processed commercially. So I'm just getting the little pieces out that separate the 2 images. Even though I put the glue on the back of it, I think I'm going to put some dimensionals to make it stand up away from the card. So I've got a roll of dimensionals here that I'm going to put the tape on the back. I'm putting a piece at the top and pretty much down the bottom. I was checking to make sure it wasn't seen from the front. I'm taking the tape on the outside off. And I'm placing my image in place. Now the last thing I need to do is adhere my greeting. So we'll put our Christmas greetings on the front. As I said, the lines in the plaid make it easy to have it line up straight. I had a little place that didn't pop out on my die cut. Here's my card. It's a little on the festive side, even though it is a vintage type card. It's very simple. And here's the other one I made. On this one I put the wreath, had holly on the wreath, and I used a piece of material down the side, and it was really light and I didn't like it, so I discolored it with the walnut stain to make it look old. And I put a raffia bow on it in the Merry Christmas. And then here's this one with the boy and girl on it. Here's another card I'm finishing up. It's very similar in style. The only difference is this has a music background and it has the gold rickrack, and I'm putting the dimensionals on my figures again so they will pop on the card. So here are my 30 cards that I did for this tutorial. They're all three are very, very similar. There's just a few minor changes in each one, but it's to give you a couple of ideas of how you can do a quick vintage card. As I say, I like doing 6x6 cards. It gives me a great surface to work on. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please come back and see me, and please subscribe. Have a great crafting day. Bye.